Hello, you're right. God, you're both very quiet, aren't you? Have you ever done one of these before?
No.
Like not talking to a giant yellow bird. I mean, talking to a podcast into a mic.
No, first time.
Okay, well, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
I'm so pleased that you picked us to be your first. Now, don't worry. There's nothing to be nervous about. All right, we're just having a chat. Okay. Now, it might look a bit weird that you're having a chat in front of X amount of mics and cameras and stuff, but try and pretend that they're not there if you can. Right. So, I've already said that my name is Jake, but for people that don't know who you are, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Stacey, I'm Pets Corner manager, and I've been here since 2022.
Very professional. Very good. Very good. Sorry, mate. Go on. You go.
My name's Justin Hopwood. I'm the Senior Communities Manager, former Pets Corner manager, and I joined the council back in 1983.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you both, an absolute privilege. Now, so we're in Pets Corner today. So if people don't know where Pets Corner is or what it is, who's better at explaining things? Who do you think?
You can say where we are.
Go on, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pets Corner is the sort of the jewel of the crown in the middle of Harlow Town Park, an amazing setting where we've sort of got fantastic landscape town park, and obviously within that is this fantastic animal facility with lots of different species of animals.
I couldn't agree more. It truly is a gem. I took a little sneak peek around the farm earlier, and right, so the real reason why I wanted to get you both on here today isn't to ask all the typical podcast questions. That's what Martin can do. Martin can do all the boring, admin-y stuff. What I want to know is this. Recently, I've realised that I don't know my lineage. If you look at me, you both are animal-loving people, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can guess so, by the way you work. What do you think I am? And I know that sounds like a big question, but recently, Martin asked me, and I had a bit of an existential crisis because I don't look like your typical bird you'd find in an encyclopedia, do I? So we've speculated, we've asked guests over the years. Some people have said a seagull because of the shape of my beak. Some people have said duck because, I've still got baby feathers and they're yellow, as ducks are. Some people have said really strange things like a toucan. Now, I don't know how much you guys dabble with birds, but in your professional opinion, what would you say I might have in my lineage?
I'd say canary.
Canary! I've never had canary before. That's exciting. All right, tell me about canaries.
They do a lot of singing.
Well, I mean, I don't have the best singing voice, but I do like singing. I like singing in my bedroom, but I don't know if I'd have like a really good singing voice, What else? What do you think, Justin? What could I have?
I think what's thrown me off is the distinct marking on this other side. It's quite unique.
Yeah, so that's actually the podcast's fault. So where Martin and I usually sit in front of our podcasting mics, my mic is normally where you are, Justin. So every now and again, I've not got very good spatial awareness. So quite a lot of the time, I end up hitting my beak on my mic. So that's actually like an ongoing fracture of my beak, unfortunately. But it's all right. It's kind of superficial wounds. It's nothing to be really concerned about. I'll go and see a vet if I need to. But yeah, lots of people have speculated over the years. We also think that I might be a descendant of Big Bird. Do you know who Big Bird is?
Yeah.
Well, that did think Sesame Street and Big Bird. There's a bit of similarity, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm a big fan of Sesame Street and the Muppets, and obviously because they're famous, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So I keep thinking maybe I'm a long lost descendant of Big Bird, and that would be really cool, wouldn't it? So in regards to talking about descendancy and lineage and things, how did you both get involved in the farm? Like, was it something you came across? Like, did you stumble onto the farm one day and go, oh, I'd like a job? Or did you know people? Were you always in love with animals? How did you get involved here?
Come on, Justin, you've got the longest history.
Well,
I'm strapped in. I'm ready.
So, long story, but I'll obviously keep it short. So my first involvement was through volunteering. My brother volunteered here and was telling me about it, and I thought that sounds a fantastic facility. I have farming and animals in my background through my grandparents, so it was sort of always natural that I was going to sort of vegetate towards an animal setting. So to have a facility like Pets Corner, I only lived about a mile away, on my bike was sort of so easy and accessible for me to cycle here, start volunteering, and just absolutely fell in love with the place. And so I started volunteering back in sort of 1979, 1980, and sitting here in front of you, still in the wonderful Pets Corner. So,
Oh,
so yeah, it's obviously been a major, major part of my life.
it must be such a magical place then. Like I think. I mean, I can. You might be able to hear. I'm not sure viewers at home, but we can hear the sound of kids laughing at the moment and the sounds of different animals. Is that something, Stacey, that you think draws people in? Because there's a lot of kids here today, a lot of families.
Yeah, so we are here for the families and the animals, and we get everybody from all walks of life, all ages. It's not just children. We get adults, and we get a lot of people, grandparents that were here when they were younger,
Oh,
bringing their children, and now they're bringing their grandchildren. We get a lot of comments saying that it's really lovely that we can sort of pass it down and bring our children's children here. And you always hear the sounds of the farm, which is great. So for anybody that maybe have visual impairments, there's a lot of sounds and smells going on. So definitely the smells as well. A lot of people pick up on that. But there's always a lot of sound, and you can actually hear the sound around Pets Corner as well. So it's not just in Pets Corner. We had a guy today saying, "Is that one of your birds I can hear?"
ah, brilliant! So if you're in the surrounding area, you just
Yeah.
follow the noise,
Yeah,
sometimes the smell.
definitely.
Yeah,
Do you find that your noses have become nose blind to
For
it over
sure.
the years?
Yeah, people say the smell, and I'm always like, "What smell? I can't smell anything."
It's just part of my life now.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's usually me, to be honest, when I have ferrets, I think.
Well, I think that shows that you've integrated yourself
Yeah.
in perfectly. I don't always smell at my best when my feathers aren't clean, but I think there is some magic, isn't there, in being around animals. And I think some people, unfortunately, like people that maybe live in the city, they don't always have access to that. What's something that makes you feel good when you're here? What's your go-to place? If you weren't working, if you got here early, where would you gravitate towards in Pet's Corner if you just need a little bit of space to breathe?
That's a good question. I've actually had that moment many times, not so much in the morning, but towards the end of the day.
Right.
Certainly, with animals, they say never work with animals and children. And here we are in a facility with
Yeah,
both. So sometimes, as you can imagine, over the years, we've had many stressful days.
of course.
And yeah, I always find sort of about 5:30, 5:30, when we're closed, the animals are settling down for the evening. I just find myself a little bit lost in the place, just walking around, just contemplating what happened on that particular day. That's obviously made me a bit low, and yeah, just sort of appreciate really the animals that we've got around us, and so that sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say my go-to. I just enjoy just having that wandering around the whole facility, just on my own, and just having that little bit of downtime with the animals myself. So yeah, that's sort of my memory of how to sort of cope and deal with sometimes a bad day.
There's something quite meditative, isn't there, about just existing amongst animals when they're not being chaotic, of course.
Yeah.
My mates are quite chaotic. I've got a pig called Truffles, who's one of my best mates. I've got a snake friend who's called Joaquin. Like I've got quite a lot of mates who are quite chaotic, but I think there is something, especially when they're winding down, as you say, about just existing in this place. I think it's really lovely. So, if you were an animal, now that you know so much about them and you spend so much time with them, if you had a spirit animal here, if you had an animal that if a witch suddenly came to the farm one day and turned you into an animal, what animal do you reckon you'd be?
Um, we had this conversation with staff the other day
No
actually.
way! Oh, so on topic. I love it.
Because I said I would happily be one of our day goose, because
Oh,
I think they've got a fabulous enclosure, and we spent quite a lot of time in there making them lots of little hides and little ladders to go all over the place. And I was thinking, if I was a small animal, I'd love it because you can crawl all over the place, you can climb up.
Lots of enrichment. So
Yeah.
you're someone who needs lots of enrichment then, do you reckon, in your life?
I
Or
don't
would
know.
like more enrichment
Yeah, maybe that.
activities?
Maybe that. I just think it looks really fun. Like, quite like climbing. As a kid, you'd go up all the climbing frames and climb up into a tree. So I guess that's why I'd want to be a daegu, because they do all that sort of thing.
That sounds lovely. It's important to connect to like our inner child, isn't it?
Yeah.
To go, okay, well, what would they enjoy? Where would they like to hide? Where would they like to climb? What about you, Justin? What would you be?
Um, I'd probably we're reindeer down here, and I'd probably quite like to be a reindeer. I think, yeah.
Santa's reindeer,
Yeah,
or reindeer that
absolutely.
he enlists to help around Christmas
Well,
time?
yeah. I mean, probably both. You know, be a reindeer during the sort of the year, and then being a Santa's helper as and when he required to help pull the sleigh. I just admired reindeer for many for years. I just think they're a really gentle, loving animal. I'd be quite happy going out in the paddocks, having a good blow around, running around, and then sort of chilling under the shade of the trees. That sounds my sort of day.
It's so funny. I think that a lot of people forget reindeers exist outside of Christmas.
Yeah,
Do you find that they're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's reindeers here in summer?
yeah.
Yeah.
What? What's something that you reckon people don't know about reindeer? Something that maybe might surprise them?
Um, I would say one thing is when they walk, they make a clicking noise, which
Oh,
a lot of
like
people.
what? Like
It's
a
like a
hooves? Oh, that sounded good.
And some people, I've been outside and people said, "Oh, is that arthritis?" You know, the joint
Yeah.
clicking, which absolutely not. No, it's sort of two tendons that click behind the front the feet. And what that allows is during sort of snowstorms and blizzards and things like that, they can hear each other where they are. So it's a sort of a hearing when visual isn't great, through blizzards and things, so they can hear and therefore they can identify where they all are
That's
through
so
the clicking.
cool. I never knew that. That's amazing. A bit like echolocation almost.
Yes,
Like follow
yeah,
the clicks.
yes,
That
yeah.
sounds really cool. Okay, so Stacey, what's one animal that you think is underappreciated here? Not by staff, of course. I know that you love all the animals
know,
here,
definitely.
but by maybe people that come and visit the farm. Maybe they're overlooked a little bit, but you're like, oh, this animal is awesome. And if you knew how awesome they were, they'd be the VIP.
Yep. So hands down, cockroaches.
No
So
way. Wait. You have cockroaches here.
yes,
I haven't seen them there. That's so cool.
I'll have to point them out to you later.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're brave enough, you can hold one.
I'll see. I'll see how I feel.
So I spend most of my time telling people how cool cockroaches are. And the best thing is to get the children at the young age, because if you tell small children that something's cool, they definitely believe it. And especially around Halloween, I love getting the cockroaches out. I encourage people to hands with them. I have pet cockroaches. We have 6 different species. So
That's so cool.
yeah, I love cockroaches. They're, if you spend the time to really look at them, you'll see just how interesting they are.
They've got really good protective bodies, don't they?
They do, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So what is it about them that they almost carry a shield? Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's called an exoskeleton.
Right.
So it means that they've got that protection on the outside rather than having a skeleton on the inside.
That's really cool, and I bet really comes in handy. What do you think, Justin? Who's your unnoticed VIP, underappreciated animal?
Um, that's a
I've stumped him.
yeah. I would say the goats, maybe the goats. I don't know if they don't appreciate it, but I mean, goats are such an intelligent, inquisitive animal. And if you see them out in the paddocks, they sort of climbing, they're playing, and I don't know, just like the goats, they are just an animal that are sort of traditional sort of farm animals, but
They are
sort of
pretty
just,
cool. I
just
like
go
how
under
they
the
climb.
radar.
I like how
Yeah.
they climb. They're very good at climbing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, we say underappreciated, but I don't know if you know this. Goat is a new slang term amongst the kids, amongst the cool kids, and it stands for greatest of all time.
Yep.
Oh,
So
didn't know that. I'm
maybe
learning something
maybe
today.
there's some kind of truth in that if someone is the goat, they are the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, guys, it's been so good to meet you. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm gonna do a little sweep of sorry, not an actual sweep. I'm not. I wish I could. I'll probably come and volunteer one day. But like, I'm going to do a sweep of the farmyard and see if I can get some insight on the animals as well. See if any of them are up for an interview.
I'm sure they would
Sounds
be.
good, yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure
Where,
they
where do
will.
you suggest I start? Who do you think is the biggest chatterbox?
The parrots, I think they're the best. You know, some of your friends, I should imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't actually know many parrots, so I'd like to get them in my friendship group. That would be really cool. Oh, it's been amazing meeting you both. Thank you so much. And if anyone has been watching today, we are so happy to have you. And if not, it was great chatting to you. See you later, everyone. Can you say bye to the camera?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.